everybody? Can you hear me out there? Hello, everybody. Can you hear me out there? Hello, everybody. Can you hear me out there? Hello, everybody. Can you hear me out there?
Everybody, can you hear me out there? I'm not quite sure if it's showing or not.
What if it's showing or not?
Okay, everybody, can you hear me out there? I thought I set up the Okay, so I'm still wondering if you guys can hear me. And I apologize for the technical difficulties. I thought I had it all set up and okay. Can you guys hear me? I just put on my earbuds. Okay, I think I might have it now. Okay, can you guys hear me? Okay, can you guys hear me out there? I see that I'm live. And I think I might be attending my own presentation here. Okay. Okay, I really apologize. I am on the call. I thought I have everything going, and maybe I do. And if so, I apologize for going back and forth through all these screens. Okay, let me see. Oops. Okay. Can you guys hear me now? Okay. Oops. Okay, so Susan, can you hear me now? Okay, so you can hear me, but you can't see me. I'm gonna get this. Again, I apologize. I've done this twice. I thought it was all set up to go, and then sure enough, I'm not. Okay, is that better? chat on. The group chat. Can you, looking to see if I can get you to chime in. Screen sharing. Okay. Quebec. Jody, I'm excited to hear from Quebec because I'm a French teacher. Okay, can you hear me? I thought I had it all set up. No echo. Okay. Okay, again, can you guys hear me? I really apologize for this. Last time I had a facilitator and it, there we go. And they handled a lot of these things for me. So okay, I think I see what I'm doing. Okay. I am going to begin here. I actually have, it's not really a 2-hour presentation. It's a little bit shorter. Actually, it's probably about an hour. I want to leave an hour for questions and things like that. So, so we're not going to be cutting things short and you won't be missing out on anything. It's just a matter of me not starting. And I really, this is not, yeah, this is something that's really new to me. I've done webinars, I do webinars all the time, but I haven't done Google Hangout. So that is, I think, part of my challenge here. And I can't tell if I'm attending or if I'm running it here. So this is a really interesting experience here. And this is me. I'm running it now. If you have questions, let me know. I have enabled the chat. If you can, oops. Alrighty, very good. Okay, so here we go. I am Melinda Forward, and I'm going to be talking about inspiration stations. And what inspiration stations are are places where people can get together and actually inspire one another. So that's why it's called a station. You'll see here in this picture that there is a table with some rocks. I'm going to talk about that. There's a little thing, take a smile, and we have a bunch of kids and adults actually working together on this. So that's what I'm going to talk about. And I'm happy you're here. Thank you for bearing with me through these technical difficulties. And I'm very, very happy you're here. So here we go. I'm Melinda Forward, and I'm a National Board Certified Teacher, and I am in New Mexico. I am really happy that you are joining me from all over. It's very, very exciting, and I'm happy to share some of these ideas in the hope that they will inspire you. I want to give you a couple of resources, first of all, because I'm not just here for today. I'm really excited to connect with you and be able to work with you in the future. So I'm on Twitter at Melinda and then _forward. So please, please follow me there and we can connect, which would be awesome. And then also at Inspiration Schools. This is something that I wanted to put out there right now that is a challenge, and I'm putting out for everyone to take the Inspiration School Pledge of Positivity. And it's about how we can together work to spread positivity and change lives. I really believe that positivity is the power to changing everything. So that is really what's behind what I'm sharing with you today. So tweeting the hashtag at Camp Global 2016, and again at Melinda Forward. So feel free to tweet anything that you might be making or doing here, and I will be really, really excited to connect with you after. So another resource, Melinda Forward for We All Have a Voice. That's the organization that I started to help students build their voice. We have a Facebook web page. Feel free to join us there. I'd really, really love to see everybody and be able to share with you the new things that we have going on. So the School Culture Project. This is very quickly what we're going to be talking about, and it is an organization that I started to help students build their voice. There are all sorts of ways to be involved, and they're all based on inspiring one another. Different projects that we have that schools get involved with, and then they ask questions about one another and of themselves. So part of this today is being involved and engaging, and I'd like you to take a couple minutes. I asked you guys to bring some paper, markers, pens. I'd like you to think for a minute about what inspires you, who inspires you, and why. And then I'm going to come back to that in a couple of minutes. I'm going to give you about a minute or so to think about that, take some notes, write some things down, and then we'll continue on, and I'll talk about where I'm going from there. Okay, I've just put up the question, and what inspires you? Who inspires you and why? And the main thing I just want to talk about now is what inspires you, who inspires you. So if you guys just chime in with one word, two words, whatever you want it to be. I'm really curious and want to share and see if we have some commonalities here, which I'm sure that we do. Oh, good. Some answers coming in. People are passionate about teaching, inspire me to be a better educator. Beautiful. Thank you, Susan. For me, the key word there is being passionate about being better. Okay, so here we go. Next one. Talk about what is school culture? What is school culture? And school culture is all about who we are, what we do in schools, okay, and what we expect of one another. And that's what culture is. What's interesting is a lot of time culture and climate gets lumped together, and they really are two separate things. And what's important for us to take a look and understand why they are actually separate things is that they impact one another. And when we look at school culture, we actually know that we have power to actually impact our school climate. Sometimes we think that our climate is fixed and that it's not ever going to change, or that we don't have power, but we really do, and that's part of what I'm here. So what we repeatedly do, excellence then is not an act, but a habit. And all of these things that I'm talking about are things that we can all do consistently. It's not just once, it's not just twice. They're consistent things that we can do to make a difference for people. Okay, so school climate then. So what is climate? Talk about culture being what we do. Well, then what is climate? Climate is how we feel. And if you look at all of those pictures, I'd like you to think about educators out there, how we can feel every one of those in 20 minutes back and forth. And we work with kids who feel all of those things in the same amount of time. And we need to manage that. And so how do we manage that? That's the big key. And culture doesn't just happen. We create it. So our climate totally impacts our school culture and vice versa. So what we're talking about is how do we build sensational school culture? And I'm just not meaning like, oh, everybody gets along, but everyone who actually connects and works together and inspires one another. Because if we can take schools from places where we learn and places where we build relationships to places where we learn how to impact the lives of other people on a daily basis, and how we learn how to inspire one another. That's what I'm here to talk about today. And I'm so excited because I've seen it in action. Now, purpose, value, and confidence. This is what we need to show our students. We need to show them, they need to know that they're important. They're important to us. They're important to our school. They belong at our school, and that they have a place and they have a purpose. And their purpose is to connect with others and to really shine with who they are as people. And when we start connecting with kids as people, then that is when real growth starts taking place. So my goal for you today is I've got 3 tools. Create the greatest possible positive change. Students in poverty, which is what I work with. I work at a Title I school, and we face big, big things in our school culture that really make a difference and really impact how we function on a day-to-day basis. And that's what I'm here to give you 3 very concrete things that can help you. So inspiration stations, we're going to talk about creating spaces. So there's a circle empowerment that I want to talk about. And the circle empowerment is creating opportunities for people to engage in new conversations and then to inspire connections, inspiring one another. Then we connect with one another. And then when we do that, then we build, and we build community, and we build positive culture. And when we build positive culture, in that process, we are actually building positive climate. And in that way, what we do as a school culture, as a culture as a whole, what we're doing creates our climate. And for students in poverty, they often do not, it's a very different world for them. And I see that some of you are in schools in poverty as well. And it's a whole different world, for us. And that's where this really came about. So they need opportunities. Our normal day-to-day experiences in schools, while they're wonderful and all, they don't necessarily connect with students in poverty. We need to go beyond that to connect with them emotionally and socially. If we do that, then they'll connect with us in our content area. But if we don't give them extra opportunities, they're going to act out, check out, and then drop out. And those are the stages. So we're working to have kids stay in school. So here we go. Our next, how do we inspire others? I was reading that nature inspires you, mentors and friends. That was from Ellen. And isn't that true? The things around us. And mentors and friends in schools. We have all this opportunity to mentor kids, but to help them learn how to mentor others. Some of our kids in Title I schools have never had a mentor. They don't know what it's like to have people care about them. Literally, they don't have that at home. So how can we connect with them in a new way, okay, and be mentors? So I'd like you to take a minute. My question right now is, who are your mentors? Okay. And maybe who back in school, when you were in school, did you have a mentor and someone that really makes a difference? Welcome, Kim. I'm glad you're here. Title I schools rock. We have a whole different level of work we get to do with our kids, and I actually love it. So my question now is, who are your mentors? Or who been? Who has been a mentor to you? So there's two in that. There's two in that. So who has been a mentor to you? Okay, in the past. Okay, now. Okay, so for me, my mentors have been people who've done the things that I want to do, and seeking them out has actually been kind of hard, and it takes effort. So what we can do is we can connect with other people to inspire them, and then they can help others. So if we can model mentorship. Okay, modeling mentorship is really, really important, and I think the key to everything. So we inspire others by doing things. That's really it. The people who've inspired us because because um, they've done something for us, and we have reached out to them usually, or they've reached out to us. Either way, it um, doesn't necessarily mean that it's simply us reaching out to them. And how can we do this? We can install inspiration stations. Here you'll see that this is two cafeteria tables that we set out in our courtyard next to our dream wall, which is one thing that I'm going to talk about as a tool that we actually use at my school to inspire people to connect. And are you ready to inspire others? So I said that this is an interactive kind of creative session. And I'm going to give you a minute to get some paper. It can be any kind of paper. It can be an index card. It could be anything. Crayons, markers, rocks, shells, and bring your creativity. So I'm going to give you just a couple of minutes and to gather a couple of supplies. And I'd like you to think again about what inspires you and who inspires you. Oh, Steve, thank you so much for yours. Students passionate to learn inspire me. Passion. That's the second time we've heard that one. Okay, so what are we going to do? We are going to take a little action here, and I'm going to show you how I work with my kids and how we do inspiration stations. First, we talk about making tags, tag teams. Tag, we're trying to rebrand things like tag, meaning things are great. So I'm going to talk about what do tags look like. And before I talk about that, I want to talk about why. So why do we want to put up positive tags around our school? We want to shift the states from negative to positive. We want to build supportive relationships and community, create a positive climate, and we want to mediate stress. There's a lot of stress that we have in schools, and Title I schools, I really believe, are different. They're very heightened as far as stress goes, and our kids, a lot of them have a stress outside of school that's pretty traumatic stress that can make a difference in their functioning in school. So tags are things that can really help with that. Mirror messages. This is what I'm going to start with. Mirror Messages as a campaign that was started by a senior a couple of years ago, and she saw the project on DoSomething.org and decided that she wanted to adapt it for our school. And this is a message that was on this window for a long time, and I walked in every single day, and this is what I saw, and it was really inspiring to me to just have that, no matter what, be positive. Because that's a choice. We can be positive no matter what. And it was a reminder at the beginning of every day that that's what I could be. So another mirror message that was created by one of my seniors, a senior boy, is the best is yet to come, stay positive. What I love is that he was saying to stay positive. He's not saying to be positive or to get positive, but to actually stay positive. So with that, I'm going to ask you to take whatever supplies you have on hand, and I'd like you to make a little mirror message that you could put up somewhere around your house or at your school that you believe could lift someone's spirits or make someone feel better. Take a couple minutes to do that. So you're going to make a mirror message, and then I'm going to ask the question on what does your mirror message say? So what does your mirror message say? So what does your mirror message say? And a mirror message can say anything. It can be something written, created by someone else, specifically yours. It can be a picture. It can be one word. It can be anything. Oh, a smile is contagious. Pass it on. Thank you, Susan. Perfect. That's going to lead into our next one. Oh, and Susan shared something about a mentor. Our instructional coach has been helpful to me, but I don't know that I would really say I have anyone professionally as a mentor. And that's a good, I agree with that. It's hard to find professional mentors. I recently have gone to some workshops by Eric Jensen, and through asking lots of questions, and working and asking about what's going on and exploring more after workshops, he's actually stepped up and has been helping me with so many of the things that I've been working on. And it's been a really something that I didn't expect. And I'm so grateful. I am so grateful for his mentorship. But for a long time, I can relate to that. I'm not really having someone professionally. And I tell you, that's why one of the coolest things about an organization like this or an experience like this is it gives us a chance to connect with one another. And I'm so thankful that you guys are all here. And this is, to me, just the beginning, which is why I said, please hang in with me for figuring this thing out, because it's really just the beginning. And so much is going on with us, and we're really excited to share with everybody. And Susan loves Eric Jensen's book. He's awesome, isn't he? His newest one, I don't know if you know the newest book, but it's pretty awesome, and it actually features one of my projects, and I'll talk about that. So we're going to move on to our next idea here, which is how one project can inspire another. And that's why it's Inspiration Stations, more than one, because it is something that can happen anywhere at any time with anyone, and it only takes one person to do this. That's what I love about it. Ellen says, keep a smile in your heart and on your face. That's beautiful. Okay, I want to make one of those for my school. Thank you for giving me something to work with. We inspire one another. Thank you, Ellen. That's awesome. Um, so Take a Smile project. This is going to be online. I decided that today when I was, what can I put online with our little review on the presentation, and I'm going to actually put one of these up, and you'll be able to download it and then copy it and whatever you want to do with it from there. But I'd like to give you a minute to actually figure out something like this. Take a Smile is what one my students created this when we did the mirror message project. She said, this is a little bit different, but this is what I thought of. And it started a whole campaign of its own. And Take a Smile. But you don't have to just take a smile. There's been different versions of this that I've heard from all over. And one of them was like, take what you need. And then it listed little things that you could tear off and take with you. So I'm going to give you a minute, and I want you to think about if you were to create something like Take a Smile, what would you do? And what would you write? And I'm going to add that as a new question. Okay, so there's my new question. So what would your version of Take a Smile look like or say? Okay, so I'll share those answers when they come up. Now, for these, I want to mention that we put them anywhere, everywhere. We did them in different colors. We didn't do this, but I really thought it'd be a really cool idea to actually do them in different colors and to change them every couple of weeks around campus, move around, and then do a collect 5 colors and win something. I thought that'd be kind of cool, even if it's like a sucker or some kind of little treat. I thought that'd be a really neat way to encourage everybody to share, but then also collect. And it's just one more way, again, that something can inspire another project. Inspiration Rocks. This is a project I'm really, really excited about. And these are like portable tags. Okay, things are great. That's the concept. And if you think about something that you can carry with you, sorry about that, something to carry with me, you can always carry a rock around. And this started when I had to do a project for Spring Fling, which is outdoors, and I was trying to figure out, well, what's going to work that won't blow away? Because that's our biggest thing, right, is the weather, and sometimes it can be windy here in the spring. So I decided when I was at the dollar store, that I would pick up some rocks because I was inspired by a project that my cousin did for a gratitude party where when you walked in the door, there were all sorts of rocks that people had made, and you could take them. Take one, make one, leave one, whatever it might be. And when I saw these rocks at the dollar store, I just thought that was a really cool idea. And then they found shiny Sharpies there. Perfect. Totally, totally worked. And I then decided that I would have that be part of our projects. And we started as Rock Talk. That's how it started. But then it evolved to be Inspiration Rocks, which I really love. And now they're all over. And we have hundreds of them that have been created and are out there in the world. And it just makes me really happy to know that people are sharing. People are sharing and caring about one another. So sharing is caring, yes. And inspiration rocks are a really easy way to do that. These are the inspiration rocks that were created at one of our events. Can't even remember which one, but if some of them you look at them, live your life, okay, how you want. Impossible is a lie. Love that one. You're awesome. Love, smile, hi. You're awesome. Mhm. And lots of smiles. Okay. Hey, you Highland Love. The school that I'm teaching at is Highland High School. So it's kind of neat that somebody put that on there. And these are tokens that can get passed around. Oh, the next one, Teachers Rock. This got to another level when we decided that we would put a box in the, it's actually in the front office, and it was right by where teachers were having to sign their evaluations for the year, because it was a bad year for evaluations. We had a New Mexico system came out, it was really rough, and a lot of teachers who were unbelievably amazing teachers, the best I've ever taught with in my whole career, 26 years, who were getting minimally effective, just above ineffective, just barely above ineffective based on test scores. And that's one of the things, if you're in a Title I school like I am, and you're evaluated based on test scores, which we are, it changes things. And we decided that it'd be good for the teachers if we left a box of them right by where they were signing contracts. And teachers commented on that in the next year even, and how that really made a difference for them. And they were, it made a difference for even just a moment. And even someone said that they thought about chucking it at someone, but then I said, well, maybe they'd be inspired in the process. So at least it's better than throwing any old rock. It's an inspiration rock. So Teachers Rock evolved out of inspiration rocks. And this is another project that came out of it, because next to the rocks at the dollar store, there were shells at the dollar store. And we just put a bunch of colored Sharpies, which was really simple, colored Sharpies, and on just this cool brown paper. And if you notice, okay, the kids are not on their phones. There's one on her phone, and then she took a picture of that. And if you go to my website, weallhaveavoice.org, you will see that those shells are one of my top sliders. And I want you to challenge you to see what it says. Check it out and see what it says. Marie-France is that student's name, who's awesome. And that's what she was doing with her phone. And everybody else is connecting. So inspiration stations are all about giving kids and adults spaces where they can connect and put down the technology, except for when you want to share some cool thing that you did, but connect with the people around you and have something that later you can use to connect with other people, to inspire them. And once one person gets inspired, then other people get inspired. And it really, there is a whole domino effect for inspiration. That's all there is to it. Here you go. Be yourself. That's what she was taking a picture of. I gave it up. I forgot this was the next slide. And look at all the colors. So awesome. Coloring makes everybody happy. And for stress relief, coloring has been known to, yes, help with stress and reduce stress. And on top of that, so the action of creating these actually reduces stress. And then the action of giving them reduces stress. And receiving them reduces stress and changes moods and really raises a whole different conversation. And that is about helping one another and looking out for one another. Looking out for one another to find out if everybody's okay or if people just need help. So, make everyone in the world see differently. This is something that was written on our Before I Die wall, the first day that it was put up, and it's become one of my my key key drawings that I'll see everywhere. It's on the back of my business card. And I really like this. So making everyone see the world differently. And this gives us power. Like we're a part of this command. We're a part of this challenge. And the things that I'm sharing with you today, I really hope will help you step out and help other people see the power of inspiration, the power of positivity by actually doing something. We talk a lot about be positive and change the world, but are we really giving people the tools they need to do that? Especially kids coming from stressful backgrounds. So it's up to us to do something. So number two is our wall of chalk dreams. And this evolved out of Candy Chang, a TED Talk that Candy Chang, an artist from New Orleans who does the most amazing civic engagement projects that she has created around the world to help people connect with one another and have common conversations in public spaces. But we created this gigantic wall. And why? To build hope, teach students to dream big, because if students have big dreams and we know what their dreams are, we can use that. People want to know, well, what happens when discipline issues come on? Well, then we can actually work with their dreams. And if we work with their dreams, then we can help them achieve those dreams. And when kids might be acting out, we can focus on giving them a comment about, wow, you know, what you did yesterday was really cool observation. How about, you know, what do you see in this activity? And we can help kids create better stories about themselves, inspire engagement. Like we cannot motivate kids. People say that, and it kind of drives me crazy because we can't motivate anyone, but we can inspire people. That's what it's all about. Life is about inspiring people to learn French. That's what I teach. Inspiring people to connect with one another, inspiring people to help others. And when we do that, we can have kids take ownership of their world. And that's really important. So this is what I'm really excited to share. This was our dream wall. You wouldn't guess it right now. When my kids had to go look and find like what space might they want to actually create a dream wall, this is what they chose. And this is what it turned into. And this is kids actually sharing on the wall. And this is an amazing, amazing space that we now have to dream. Everybody does. And what happens is it connects us all on a human level. Like we're all people. It's about people. It's about us connecting as people. And that's so important. So important. Because we really do have a really big impact. Someone writes something on the wall that then impacts someone else. Like the smile, that made me feel better that day. I was having kind of a bad day. I do remember that. And I felt really good when I said smile. And so then that helped me change my mindset. And then I treated someone else in a different way than I would have if I might have had having to manage my stress. And this relates to what Susan said about literary tie-in, the book Each Kindness. Jacqueline Woodson talks about kindness in terms of ripple effect when a stone is thrown in the water. Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And chalkboard paint, yes, for this one. We did like a base paint, primer, and then we did the chalkboard paint on top. And then we stenciled the Before I Die I Want To. Although now we've actually changed the whole conversation. We had that one for a while, the Before I Die I Want To, talking about dreams. And now we're actually going to have whatever conversations we want to. And students are going to adopt the wall for a week. It's going to be called a Week with the Wall program, where teachers sponsor with their classes the wall for a week. And then they work together to figure out, well, what do we want to put on the wall? Do we want to draw? Do we want to write? What kind of question? What kind of prompt? And it takes the literacy to a whole new level, And right now I'm going to ask the question, like the same question that's up here. What we talked about is, before I die, I want to, what? So I'd like you to take a minute and just send a response into that one. Before I die, I'd like to, or I want to, or I'm going to. People have crossed out the want to. and they actually put I'm going to, which I love, honestly. That takes it to a whole nother level as well. So take a minute and think about how you would answer one. Before I die, I'm going to make a difference. Beautiful, Susan. Um, and I believe that you are if you're in a Title I school for sure. For sure. So a chalkboard paint, really simple way for us to create whole new conversations. And that has been a really powerful thing for us in the past couple of years. And what evolved out of that, which we never would have guessed or imagined, is that ASCD actually came and filmed our school as the feature school for their video, engaging students with poverty in mind. And it's really awesome. They featured our program by giving students a voice and how our strategies are different, and that Title I schools need different things. They need rocks, and they need smiles, and they need these different things. And some of the higher socioeconomic schools, they need these things, but they don't necessarily think they do. And I've talked with principals and other people, and it's interesting when I talk about bringing the program to a school that they don't always think that it's something they need, but their kids are dealing with stress no matter what. No matter what, everyone's dealing with stress in a school. So on my website, you can take a look and check on the link. I've got some videos on there, some clips from that video. And then the future. So the future of your school culture, leading into chance or creating the change. It really is that we are the change. Okay, we have to be the change, because if we're not, who will be? And that is where the leading into chance or actually doing something. So it's your turn. Okay. Actions change. Okay. Action changes things, which I love that for being act. And some things that you can do. First thing is, I'm really excited. I want to see how many people we can get today through the EdCamp Global to take the Inspiration School Pledge of Positivity. This organization started up as independent from We All Have a Voice, but they're totally connected. It was actually inspired because what I found is that people are not always, they don't always know, like, how do you connect with one another? Like, what does it mean to be positive? And actually take a stand for positivity and say, you know what, I'm going to be positive, but then also take action in ways that will inspire and help other people. I'm going to pass the power on. And that's what this is about. So I would love for all of you, once you take the pledge of possibility of positivity, I guess it's the possibility of positivity, then you'll see that there are some cool new things, and you'll actually get more resources from me in how can we make this happen. And we're looking for schools. Well, this is another link to, and I also put it on the bottom of the Hangout, the links to this. Looking for inspiration schools. So if you teach at a school, guess what? You can actually become an inspiration school with us and have your school featured on our website. You'll see that there are pictures here, and these are pictures from different schools. This is my school. This is a school in the Bronx. It's another school in Albuquerque. We have openings for an unlimited number of schools. So if you are here and you're excited and you like the idea of these projects, all you have to do is take on one project and then let us know how it went, share your results, send us some pictures and some stories, and then we will actually create a page for you based on okay, what you've actually done so that you can actually learn and teach your kids how they can connect, okay, with others. So right now, I'm just going to put this up there. And are you interested in becoming an inspiration school? And then why? And yes, absolutely any grade level. That's why I love this work. Like I teach French and I love teaching French. And the power of this project is it can work with anyone. Anyone can make rocks, anyone can make notes, anyone can take a smile and pass a smile and make new ones, and everybody can write in a wall. And this is absolutely all inclusive. And that is a part of my mission, is to create a program that is absolutely all inclusive, and its goal is to include everyone on campus, not just a couple people, not just the kids that are like the Senate kids who are like super involved and they do really cool things, but then we end up with 97% of our population of 1,400 not being involved and not being as connected. And then they actually feel even more disconnected when they see other people connected. So it's a really vicious cycle. So if we can inspire kids by these small inspiration stations, one at a time, it can start in one classroom. It's what happened with me. It started in my French classroom, and now it's gone school-wide. Now it's gone nationwide. We're hoping it'll go global. And it will be a really amazing thing to see all the positive things that will happen all over. I mean, everywhere in the world. And we are so excited to be able to offer everybody a web page of their own to create their own cool connection with us to inspire others. And this is a part of what really inspired us with Candy Chang, was that we were actually able to connect with her website. And so our high school has a web page on the Candy Chang's Before I Die project. And my kids are really impressed. Title I school kids who end up on the news, who end up in the newspaper, who end up in a movie, who end up all these amazing places, like on a website connected with thousands other projects around the world. So inspiration schools, we are looking for inspiration schools for this next year. And it's really, really important for us. Oh, Susan, that's just awesome about librarian. You have like the perfect place. I work with the librarian all the time. Oh my goodness, the librarian has such a great position and possibilities to connect with others. And I'm hearing an echo. Okay, let me figure out the echo. Oh, maybe it went away. I think it went away. Okay. Here we go. Another project, and this is one that I'm talking about. No, there's an echo. Give me a second. Let me figure this out.